केंद्र सरकार द्वारा मंगलवार को लोकसभा में पेश किए गए दिल्ली सेवा बिल का संसद में जोरदार विरोध हुआ। केवल आम आदमी पार्टी के सांसद ही नहीं बल्कि विपक्ष के सभी सांसदों ने भी इसका भरपूर विरोध कर इसे गैर संवैधानिक बताया। बता दें, केंद्र सरकार द्वारा लाया गया दिल्ली सेवा बिल अधिकारियों के तबादलों और पोस्टिंग से जुड़ा हुआ है। आसान भाषा में कहें तो दिल्ली की जनता ने भले ही केजरीवाल को मुख्यमंत्री चुना हो, लेकिन उनके पास एक कर्मचारी तक बदलने का भी अधिकार नहीं होगा। केंद्र सरकार को दिल्ली सरकार के खिलाफ लाए बिल को पास कराने की कितनी जल्दी है, इसका पता यहीं से लगता है कि जब बिल का विरोध पूरा विपक्ष एक साथ कर रहा था, तब भी देश के गृह मंत्री विपक्षी सांसदों के विरोध में भी बिल पढ़े जा रहे थे। आखिर इस बिल को लेकर क्या कहना है सभी नेताओं का, आइए सुनते हैं।
अभी माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने बिल को पेश करते हुए कहा कि दिल्ली की सरकार 2015 में ऐसी बन गई कि जो भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में जिसका काम ही नहीं है सेवा करना। अरे सेवा दिल्ली की सरकार जनता की सेवा कर रही है कि नहीं कर रही है, यह फैसला तो करने का अधिकार दिल्ली की जनता को। आप कैसे बैठ के यहां फैसला कर सकते हैं? आपको कौन अधिकार दिया है यहां फैसला करने की? चुनाव तो आप भी लड़ते हैं दिल्ली में, लेकिन आप 3 सीट पर सिमट जाते हैं, 3 सीट पर सिमट जाते हैं और उसके बाद भी कहते हैं कि वाह भाई दिल्ली में जो सरकार है उसको सेवा का काम ही नहीं कर रही है। कौन सा काम आप व्याख्या कर रहे? आपने दिल्ली के एमसीडी को सारे लोगों को मिला के एक एमसीडी किया, क्या हुआ? हसर आपका दिल्ली के एमसीडी के चुनाव में भी आप हार गए, फिर भी आप बोलने में बात नहीं आ रहा है, फिर भी आप बोल रहे। तो लोक लाज जब आप ताखे पर रख दीजिएगा तो यही होगा, क्योंकि आपने लोकतंत्र को समाप्त करने का निर्णय किया।
एक दिन मैंने अपने रूह से पूछा ये दिल्ली क्या है? जब जवाब में ये बताए गए मानो आसमान जिस्म है तो दिल्ली उसका जान है। तो ये दिल्ली के साथ बार बार क्यों छेड़खानी किए जा रहे हैं, ये मैं आप लोगों से पूछना चाहते हैं। आपने खुद अपने वक्तव्य में ये पेश किए कि 1911 में ये कलकत्ता से राजधानी उठ के दिल्ली आए। बिल्कुल सही बताया आपने। ये 1990 में बालाकृष्ण कमेटी की रिपोर्ट और रिकमेंडेशन आई। 69th amendment 1991 was passed by parliament, which inserted articles 239AA and 239BB in the constitution and provided for a legislative assembly in Delhi. In short, the 69th Amendment Act roughly restored the kind of governance system that was offered to Delhi in 1952, a union territory with a legislative assembly, council of ministers, and an elected chief minister with limited mandate. ये यूनियन टेरिटरी बने 1956 में। देखिए, मेरा सिर्फ यही कहना है कि आप जो भी कहे, शंका हमारे इसलिए है कि हिंदुस्तान में से एक ही राज्य दिल्ली नहीं है। अगर दिल्ली में इस तरीके की छेड़खानी होते रहेंगे तो इसके चलते आप धीरे धीरे हिंदुस्तान की बाकी राज्यों में एक किस्म के ही हमला करते रहेंगे। अगर आपको यह लगे कि यहां घोटाला होते रहते, ये घोटाले के लिए क्या ये बिल लाना जरूरी था? आपके हाथ में ईडी है, सीबीआई है, कितने सारे फौजें हैं आपके हाथ में, कितने सारे शक्तियां हैं आपके जेब में, तब उसको इस्तेमाल क्यों नहीं करते? ये घोटाला की चलते, घोटाला की विरोध करने के लिए आपको क्या ये बिल लाना जरूरी था? मैं ये सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं। दूसरी सवाल ये है कि देखिए ये अध्यादेश की घोषणा लोकतांत्रिक और न्यायिक विचार विमर्श का दरकिनार करने का एक स्पष्ट प्रयास है। क्योंकि मैं बता रहा हूं, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट की 2023 संविधान पीठ के फैसले के महज 6 दिन बाद ही 17 मई 2023 के अध्यादेश को मंजूरी देने वाले कैबिनेट प्रस्ताव पारित किया गया था। जबकि अध्यादेश को 19 मई को ही कानूनी रूप दिया गया और उसी शाम जैसे ही सुप्रीम कोर्ट की छुट्टियां शुरू हुई, इस अध्यादेश को जनता के लिए लागू कर दिया गया। ये सही है, ये गलत? अब बताओ, इतना जल्दबाजी क्यों आपको लगे कि अध्यादेश के तहत ये बिल लाना जरूरी समझा है आपने? क्यों ये अध्यादेश लाने की क्या जरूरत थी? आप तो सीधा बिल ला सकते। ये जरूरी क्या थी? ये इमरजेंसी क्या थी? एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी सिचुएशन क्या थी उस समय? आपको सदन में ये बताना पड़ेगा। देखिए, 1991 में the parliament also passed the government of national capital territory of Delhi act to supplement the constitutional provision relating to the legislative assembly and the council of ministers. It conferred on the assembly the power to legislate on all matters in the state list as well as the concurrent list except land, police and public order. Further, in 2018, the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court has dealt with the issue of the powers of Delhi government. Supreme Court involved the interpretation of Article 239AA of the Constitution, which deals with the governance structure of the national capital. In the ruling, the Constitution Bench held that although Delhi could not be accorded the status of a state, the concept of federalism would still apply to it. ये संघीय ढांचा के लिए हमें चिंता जरूर करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान में अगर संघीय ढांचा ना बचेगा तो हिंदुस्तान तबाह हो जाएगी। इस कगर में हिंदुस्तान ना जाए, इसलिए हमें चिंता करना जरूरी है। The 2018 ruling said that with the introduction of Article 239AA in the Constitution, Parliament envisaged a representative form of government for Delhi while seeking to provide a directly elected legislative assembly with legislative powers over matters within the state list and the concurrent list barring those exempted. ये आपने माना कि verdict itself had noted that since there is no central legislation governing the services and the decision-making process in Delhi, the power would lie with the elected government. ये आपका तर्क है। आपका दूसरी तर्क ये है, the center has removed the basis and reason on which the judgment was given. The Supreme Court decision on the interpretation of Article 239AA, entry 41 in the absence of any specific parliamentary legislation dealing with the subject of services seemed to be an acknowledgement of the Supreme Court as the superior authority of Parliament to make laws for national capital. ये आपका तर्क यही है। तो इसके साथ मैं ये कहना चाहते हैं, बिल्कुल आपका तर्क सही है, लेकिन ये भी सही है कि review petition filed by the center in the Supreme Court claimed that Delhi is not a full-fledged state, but only a union territory which is an extension of the union. आपको सुविधा ये मैं बता रहा हूँ। The Parliament is Delhi's true legislation. ये भी अपने कहते हैं, true legislation. ये भी अपने कहते हैं। The center has argued, however, the May 11 judgment addresses the contention by acknowledging that though Delhi is not a full-fledged state, its legislative assembly is constitutionally entrusted with the power to legislate upon the subjects in the state list and concurrent list. The unanimous judgment held that though Delhi is not a state under the first schedule to the Constitution, it is conferred with power to legislate upon subject to give effect to the aspiration of the people of NCTD. It has a democratically elected government which is accountable to the people of the NCTD. Under the constitutional scheme envisaged in Article 239AA Clause 3, NCTD was given legislative power which, though limited in many aspects, is similar to states. In the sense, with the addition of Article 239AA, the Constitution created an asymmetric federal model with the Union of India at the center and the NCTD at the regional level. सर, हमें ये कहना है, जब चुनकर नुमाइंदे आते हैं, चुनकर जब लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली बनते हैं, तो क्या उनका लेजिस्लेट करने के अधिकार नहीं दिया जाएगा? सब छीन लिया जाएगा? बचपन से सुन के आते हैं कि चोर कतवाल को डांटे। यहां तो लगते हैं कि चोर सिर्फ कतवाल का नहीं, कलेक्टर को हुक्म कर रहे हैं। क्योंकि यह सारे जो हमारे लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली रहेगा, ये लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली को खत्म करते हुए ये ब्यूरोक्रेट्स पे सारे जिम्मेदारी, सारे अधिकार ब्यूरोक्रेट्स पे सौंपा जाते हैं। ब्यूरोक्रेट्स फैसला करेगा सरकार कैसे चलेगी, ये क्या सही होगा देश के लिए? द कोर्ट हैड हेल्ड दैट द एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर ऑफ द दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट was coextensive with its legislative power. That is, the executive arm of the government covers all the subjects, including services except public order, police, land, for which the legislative arm can make laws. आप ये कह सकते हैं कि हमारे पार्लियामेंट उससे भी शक्तिशाली है। बिल्कुल आप कह सकते हैं, आपको अधिकार है। लेकिन इसमें और एक बात है, ये मैं नहीं कह रहे हैं, ये डॉक्टर पीडीटी आचार्य साहब, एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनलिस्ट, वो कह रहे क्या जानते हैं? When we analyze the key provision of this ordinance in terms of Article 239AA as well as GNCTD Act 1991, it will be found to not be in conformity with the Constitution. Article 239AA Clause 7 empowers Parliament to make a law to supplement the provisions contained in that article. मानते हैं, लेकिन इसके साथ क्या होते हैं? To supplement the provision does not mean making contrary provision. Parliament has not given any power in this article to make a law conferring all powers on the Lieutenant Governor with respect to the administration of the territory of Delhi. हमारा आपत्ति ये है, ये कानूनी आपत्ति है सर। ये हम कोई मनगढ़ंत आपत्ति नहीं करते, कोई अलायंस के चलते, ये कोई दूसरी वजह से। ये हमारे फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर इसमें बड़ा संगीन हालत में गुजर सकते, इसलिए हम पहले ही चेतावनी देना चाहते हैं। आप यहाँ कहते हैं कि हम ये क्या बनाएंगे, एक नया एक ढांचा बनाएंगे एनसीसीए से। क्या होगा उसमें? उसमें जो चीफ मिनिस्टर रहेगी उनकी बात नहीं चलेगा, जो सेक्रेटरी वो फैसला करेगी, और सेक्रेटरी अगर चाहे तो चीफ मिनिस्टर की कोई सिद्धांत पे वो वेटो भी दे सकते हैं। ये चीफ सेक्रेटरी ये क्या करते हैं? चीफ सेक्रेटरी वुड रिप्रेजेंट द विल ऑफ द ऑफिसर ऑफ द GNCTD, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी ऑफ दिल्ली। सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या कहते हैं? सुप्रीम कोर्ट कहते हैं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैड एनविसेज ए न्यूट्रल सिविल सर्विस कैरिंग आउट द डे-to-day डिसीजन ऑफ द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर। द NCCA attempts to bring civil service officers out of the administrative control of the elected ministers who embody the will of the people and transform them into power lobby. हमारा यही कहना है कि सारे क्षमता अगर ब्यूरोक्रेट पे छोड़ देंगे आप, तो हमें चुनकर यहाँ आने की क्या जरूरत है? ये ट्रिपल कमांड, हमारे जो ट्रिपल कमांड जो चलते हैं, एक बार जनता हमें चुनते हैं, चुनने के बाद यहाँ आते हैं, यहाँ हम लोग आम लोगों के लिए हमारी जिम्मेदारी दिखाते हैं। अकाउंटेबिलिटी आम लोगों के समीप हमें रखना पड़ते। ये जो ट्रिपल चेन जो कमांड है, ये ट्रिपल चेन कमांड हमारी देश की बुनियादी ढांचे के लिए एक अहम हिस्सा होते हैं। अब इसको तोड़ने का कोशिश करते हैं, इसलिए हमारी आपके विरोध या खड़ा होने पड़ते। ये और एक बात है, देयर इज येट अनदर प्रोविजन, ये 45J Clause 4 which introduces a new procedure for summoning and proroguing a session of the assembly. Under the present constitutional system, the decision to convene a session of the legislature is taken by the cabinet. यहाँ भी ऐसा होते हैं, आप फैसला करते हैं कब सदन चलेगा या नहीं। Thereafter it is conveyed to the governor. आप क्या करते हैं? प्रेसिडेंट को भेजते हैं। यहाँ गवर्नर को भेजा जाते थे पहले, who signed the summons. This is the practice followed in all countries where the parliamentary system of government exists. But a strange and inscrutable procedure has been introduced by this ordinance. Under this new procedure, the proposal for convening the assembly shall be submitted to the chief secretary, to the lieutenant governor and the chief minister for their opinion before issuing the summons. आपने कभी ऐसा मानेंगे यहाँ? अगर हम नहीं तय करेंगे या हमारे नौकर साहब ने तय करेंगे, ये हम मानेंगे? अब बताइए। दिल्ली में बहुत सारे सेवा ये सूबे की सरकार देते थे, ये हमें सोचना पड़ेगा कि हर सूबे की सरकार की अपने अपने क्षेत्र में कोई सेवा देना जरूरी होते हैं। जैसे कि दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए काम करने वाले 50 से अधिक संस्थाएं इस एक व्यापक प्रावधान से प्रभावित होंगे इस ऑर्डिनेंस के चलते। इनका नियंत्रण दिल्ली के लोगों से लेकर केंद्र के पास चले जाएगा। ये संस्थाएं दिल्ली के यातायात, परिवहन, जल और बिजली आपूर्ति जैसे विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में काम करती है, जिसमें दिल्ली ट्रांसपोर्ट कॉर्पोरेशन, दिल्ली जल बोर्ड, दिल्ली स्टेट इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन, दिल्ली वुमेन कमीशन, दिल्ली इलेक्ट्रिसिटी रेगुलेटरी बोर्ड सहित कोई महत्वपूर्ण संस्थाएं शामिल है। इन सभी संस्थाओं के विशेष रूप से राष्ट्रीय राजधानी दिल्ली के मतदाताओं के जरूरत के पूरा करने के लिए गठित किया गया है और ये दिल्ली का जनता की रोजमर्रा की जीवन की प्रभावित करती है। इस संस्थाएं राष्ट्रीय राजधानी दिल्ली द्वारा वित्त पोषित है। सिविल सर्विस के बाद ये संस्थाएं दिल्ली में प्रशासनिक कार्य करते हैं और प्रशासन का केंद्र है। इस प्रावधान के तहत सबसे बड़ी मनमानी ये की गई है कि इन सभी संस्थाओं के लिए बजट दिल्ली विधानसभा और दिल्ली से पारित किया जाएगा, मगर इनमें नियुक्तियां केंद्रीय राजनीतिक अधिकारियों द्वारा किया जाएगा। तो ये मनमानी तरीके से इस तरीके की बिल मत लाया करो। एक ब्यूरोक्रेट पे सारे जिम्मेवारी मत छोड़ो, क्योंकि हमारे हिंदुस्तान में एक चेक्स एंड बैलेंस होते हैं। ये चेक्स एंड बैलेंस को मत तोड़ो। अगर चेक्स एंड बैलेंस टूट जाएगा तो हिंदुस्तान नामक जो देश है इसके लिए बड़ा खतरा पैदा होगी। इसलिए कहते हैं आप भगवान आपको ज्यादा ज्ञान दे, आपको ज्यादा बुद्धि दे और ये आप प्रत्याहार करें।
Procedure, and particularly on the issue of legislative competence, I have 4 brief points, sir. First, the bill violates the defining feature of a federal democracy, the division of power. It undermines the Delhi Legislative Assembly and the Delhi government, and by trying to supersede the Supreme Court's decision on the matter, the union government appears to undermine the constitutional principle of federalism. Number 2, sir, just 4 quick points. Sankshipt mein bol raha hu. Number 2, the bill infringes the principle of representative democracy, which is a basic feature of the Constitution. The legislators are accountable to their electorate. The electorate must have a say in who governs them. If the Delhi government is not able to control and hold to account the officers posted in its service, sir, the fact is that it's their responsibility. The legislature cannot be fulfilled. The principle of collective responsibility extends to the responsibility, sir, of the government for its own officers. You cannot give bureaucrats the authority that belongs to elect.
I am before you, sir.
Sir, no. I vehemently oppose. Sir, I vehemently oppose the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2023 on 3 grounds.
आप तो नियम से बोलोगे ना?
हम नियम से बोला है.
हाँ, रूल्स की बात बोलना.
रूल्स के बाद बोला है. Sir, Rule 72(2) of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha, I am questioning the legislative competence of the government in having the legislation of the bill number 1. Sir, it is against the principles of federalism which is being envisaged by the Constitution of India. Sir, federalism is one of the basic features of Indian Constitution. An elected government in the state of Delhi, it is not having the administrative and legislative control over the bureaucrats means the government there is no meaning in having the government of Delhi. That is why I am saying that it is absolutely taking away the administrative and legislative control by the bureaucrats and the political leadership and the elected. Sir, please, second point.
क्या सुने आपकी? आप 72 के नियम में बोलो, व्यवस्था दे रहा हूं आप.
पीठ से एक निर्देश जाए कि ये जो बिल है सब्सटेंटिव पॉलिसी नहीं है और ये जो कॉल एंड सगदर का जो लिखा है कि व्हेन अ लीव ऑफ हाउस टू द मूविंग ऑफ अ मोशन हैज बीन ग्रांटेड, no substantive motion on policy matter is to be brought before the house by the government till the motion of no confidence has been disposed of.
Okay.
Motion of disconfidence has not been disposed of. This is a substantive policy. It is illegal.
Okay.
It will be challenged and this has no merit, sir. अब ruling दीजिए कि ये substantive.
Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2023. As has been mentioned before, that this bill is well outside the legislative competence of Parliament, because the Supreme Court, in a passed a judgment in CA number 2357 of 2017 on 11th May 2023 in the matter of Government of NCT of Delhi versus Union of India. Now, to override the Supreme Court judgment, the government has brought forward a bill. This is totally autocratic. It abrogates. Sir, हो जाएगा sir. Sir, अब प्रेमचंद्रन को 4 बार मौका दिया. मुझे भी 1-2 बार दीजिए. Sir. वो complete. Sir, I want to say that this is total abrogation of the legislative power of the Union Capital Territory of Delhi under Article 239 A of the Constitution.
कल आपको पर्याप्त मौका।
Thank you, sir. I stand here to oppose the bill brought by the Honorable Home Minister. So the bill is about elected versus the selected. India's a democracy, not a dictatorship as yet. So how an elected government is being demeaned and is going to be run by the selected is my humble question to this government of India right now. The bill is completely undemocratic, unconstitutional, and it's completely against the spirit of cooperative federalism. My learned friend Meenakshi Lekhi ji has just left. She was talking about cooperative federalism and talking about control. I was surprised that in a democracy there's control. So I was slightly confused because these kind of committees are only in countries like China. I don't think India has this kind of control because I still believe it's a democracy. And while she was talking and running down cooperative federalism, I would like to remind her from the BJP, the Honorable Arun Jaitley ji, who I really miss in this house, always eloquently talked about cooperative federalism and how much they wanted to work with the states and empower states, and that's the beauty of India. And she was talking completely against what the BJP original, or maybe this is 2.0, has a different view. I think I need to know the clarification. I don't know whether it's a generation gap. But in a democracy, control is not the right word. It's a dictatorship which is the right word. The other thing which I wanted to ask her, she was talking in her speech that it's not a full state. I want to very humbly submit to the BJP and ask them, in their manifesto, every Delhi election, the BJP has always asked for a full statehood of Delhi. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. Anybody can challenge me on this. I'm willing to take my speech back. So when you're talking about a full statehood, so were you lying in the manifesto? Are you lying to the people in Parliament? Parliament is supreme. The Honorable Prime Minister calls it the temple of democracy. So how dare you lie in a temple of democracy? Or are you lying? Then stand up and admit कि हमने जो मैनिफेस्टो में रोका वो झूठ था, हमको ये नहीं था, और एक जुमला था, और हम माफी चाहते हैं इस देश को. They have to apologize to the government because they have lied to the nation. I want a clear clarification from the Honorable M Minister. Another small question: when they talk about full statehood, sir, in the manifesto, they are talking about full statehood for BJP. I want a clarification from the BJP. There are two more questions I want to ask technically, which my friend Pinaki Mishra, I think, is just left. I want to ask this question because the Honorable Home Minister talked about it. He said in Article 239 AA7 empowers the Parliament to make a law to supplement the provision contained in Article not to violate. And he, in this same reference, said that this will have to go back to the Supreme Court, which is 3 kilometers away. If it's going to get back and there is ambiguity in it, then why are we discussing this and wasting our time? So this is a clarification government share, because the Honorable Home Minister also talked about 239 AA7, and so did Pinaki Mishra, who's supporting this, but still saying it will go back because there's ambiguity. So then what is the importance and relevance of Parliament? Can we get a clear clarification? Because it's confusing all of us. Another point about the same thing about Article 239 AA. It says in Parliament does not enjoy concurrent powers of lawmaking at the issue services under the entry 41 list 2, but no exercise of concurrent powers allows the Parliament to withdraw the same power from the Delhi government. What does this mean, sir? It's a complete contradiction. So if what we are discussing is going to get struck down, whose ego are we pandering here? Who are we intimidating here is my question to this government. Another few questions I want to ask. They talked about Delhi Services Authority. Delhi Service Authority, I have 3 questions. This is similar to the China model, sir. In clause 45D, my question to them is the committees of 3 people. Majority wins so far in a democracy, unless it will change to a dictatorship. I'm not sure. By the way, the people in the power are intimidating us all the time. But we want to ask them, mother of democracy. My question to them is that if there are 3 people and majority wins, 2 secretaries versus 1 chief minister. So if the elected chief minister, who is elected by the people of Delhi, is vetoed by 2 secretaries, then what happened? Appointed will decide. So selected versus appointed. See, there you go. Appointed. My second question to the government is, so will the chief minister be rejected? My first question. My second question is, Will the two officers overturn the power of a chief minister? Is my question to this government. One more question. Can the LG rule what the honorable chief minister has decided?
He can overrule.
What is this? So then that leaves the government powerless. Then why have a government in Delhi? Is this what the final agenda is? So this is my clear three questions to two small questions which I really need a clarification. Just 2 minutes, sir. See, बड़ी विनम्रता से मैं सरकार को पूछना चाहती हूँ, बड़ी विनम्रता से. They talked about morality, which is a good thing. Morality तो होनी चाहिए. और हमेशा बीजेपी हमको कहती है 2014 और 19 में डंके की चोट पे हमको जनादेश दिया था. अच्छी बात है, कांग्रेचुलेशंस, इट्स अ डेमोक्रेसी. आप जीते, हमारे हम मानते हैं. फिर केजरीवाल जी को एक रूल और इनको एक रूल, ऐसे कैसे? अगर इस देश के, इस दिल्ली ने जनादेश अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिया है तो वो गलत है, लेकिन इनको जनादेश जब मिलता है वो पॉपुलैरिटी है. ये कौन सा न्याय होगा? इट्स रियली अनफेयर सर. तो ये लोकतंत्र है. ये कहते हैं केजरीवाल जी को दिल्ली भी मिली और पंजाब भी मिला. हाँ मिला, बट लोकतंत्र है ये सर. सो वेदर यू लाइक इट और नॉट, टुडे whether anybody likes it or not, today Punjab and Delhi is ruled by Aam Aadmi Party and not by rigging any election. And if Meenakshi Lekhi ji said rig or election, then what was your government doing? You're saying Punjab was rigged? Was Delhi rigged? Is my question to the government. I want to ask.
Sir, I'm asking, sir, what is it? What the Supreme Court said? The Supreme Court was said in the judgment, handed over the control of services in Delhi, excluding police, public order, and land to the elected government. Sir, this is an elected government. Government elected by people. Not once, twice, it has been elected. And what do you want to do? You cannot do it. What is your formula? The formula followed by the Home Minister is simple. Wherever BJP can't win, we will send the ED. We'll send the CBI. The Supreme Court said you cannot extend the term of the enforcement director more than thrice. They said July 31st was the last day. But you went back. You said the administrative power is so important. He's the only man who can deliver fatwa. He has to be. And you got extension from Supreme Court. That means you know the importance of administration. Administration should be far in control of the elected government. Should not be a puppet. It should not be a puppet in your hands. You can't take it. The Supreme Court made it very, very clear, sir, that the services should come. So now what they have done, sir, now they have brought ordinance. Sir, the very fact they brought an ordinance very immediately after the Supreme Court gave a ruling in favor. Sir, we agree with you. A parliament is the utmost authority in making laws. That's the reason we are called lawmakers. But when any law is made here, you should make sure that we have the right to speak and right to say, if you are bringing the wrong law, we have to say you are bringing a law. Here, your intentions are very, very clear. Our intention is to control the Delhi government. Sir, why? Why is that? When comes to you, you want the administrative to be extended, give extension. So one of your members spoke that none of the promises made by Aam Aadmi has been delivered. How can it be delivered? You always trifle the officers. You never allow the officers to function. How will the office, without the officers functioning, how can they deliver? Because you want to use this as an election platform to say, this government never did. Sir, this is not the way to do it. And again, sir, please, do not talk about alliances. It says, in Tamil, say Satan Vedam Odigirathu. It's like the Saturn, what is scriptures? Sir, you have got into unholy alliances. You take care of your family, sir, your party. We know how to take care of our alliance party, and India is very strong, sir. Next, 2024, you might be here, and we will be there. We will be there, sir. And sir, whatever you're using, whatever you're abusing, we will not abuse. We'll make sure the CBI and enforcement, income tax, behave properly and do their jobs properly. Unlike you, whatever you are doing, they'll do it rightly. And that time we'll see who has the last laugh, sir. Sir, in this law, which they are bringing, sir, they have ensured that there will be no longer Section 3A. Basically, Supreme Court of 3A, so they have ensured the Section 3A doesn't prevail in this. Sir, and next thing is this, I also would like to know, sir. Sir, in the statements of law, why they are bringing it, the Honorable Home Minister has made it, the proposed act mandates creation of 3-member committee, sir, and is also saying that, sir, basically it wants to say that it is bringing because
Delhi is very, very important part of the country. Delhi is the heart of the country. Delhi, every foreign countries have their embassies here. Security is very important. We have to ensure that make sure that local government doesn't come and disturb it. Sir, anyway, the National Capital Region Security is with you. Who is in charge of the National Capital Region Security? The Home Ministry, not the state government. And why I don't understand. If something wrong is happening in law and order, you are responsible. Nobody else is responsible. Don't try to shy away your responsibility. If rape is happening in Delhi, it's you because your law and order is weak. If dacoity is happening in Delhi, it's because your law and order is not good. Sir, let me say they formed a committee now. The committee consists of the Chief Secretary, Principal Home Secretary, and the Chief Minister. Sir, out of 3 members, 2 members are appointed by them. Then there's a quorum is only 2. Tomorrow the Chief Minister may not be there. If the Chief Minister is traveling abroad or traveling away, these 2 people decide which officer can work with. Even then, sir, after all this, even the 3 of them sit together and by some miracle, they come to a conclusion that decision can be overruled by the Lieutenant Governor. What is the point? What is the point? You're saying that you're giving powers, but you're not giving powers. You're showing the lollipop, making sure the kid stops crying and taking back the lollipop. So that is what you're doing. Sir, throughout, I'm going to say, the last 9 years, you are making monsters, devils out of the governors and lieutenant governors.
Look,
but the constitutional heads which are being appointed by the Union Home Ministry are becoming more dangerous for the development of every state. This is not only for West Bengal, not for Kerala, for Tamil Nadu. Sir, I can tell you, sir, in my own state, sir, the governor, because as long as
now please conclude.
I'm the only speaker. You can't.
You say mom says.
Sir, I never say, sir. All I'm saying, sir, don't control me, sir. Sir, you have to be neutral. We have been very clearly saying that no state governments need a governor. Sir, right from our founder, Sir Anna Durai, in this house, I said that in this house has been recorded that as much as a goat doesn't need a beard, so does a state doesn't need a governor. Sir, it is sir, more than, sir, I would like to say 13 bills are sitting idle in the governor's chambers. What reasons? No one knows.